show on the road. Do this. Come on, give me the notification. There it is. Gotta make sure people get this. Share. Oh my goodness me, you have got to be kidding me. Oh, I'm going to explain why I'm laughing in a minute. I've just got to go and do this. Sports, where is it? Trying to sign in. Oh, skip past it. Where are you? Stream links. Oh, it must be. There it is. And now on. So here we go for round 5. No. Share again. There it is. Is it? No, I suppose it again. Crap. Content great commentators. So as the drivers start Q1, it'll be a practice session more or less. 15 drivers here today. So Q1 will act pretty much as a practice session. But it's raining. Raining, I say. But here we go. To start off round 5 of Season 2 of the DRS Green Championship. We are here in Budapest at the Hungary ring. 4.4 kilometer, 14 turn circuit as we have a Mercedes spin out. It's James Cruz, the Super Trooper, as I believe it's semi-pro to start off the first flying lap here in Hungary. If you rewind back to the start, I was laughing a bit because I was going to mention every time I do commentary at this place, regardless of what league, it always rains. I did a Formula 2 race back in Season 1 here in DRS. It rained. I did some commentary for an American league for pre-season testing here, and it rained as Alcatraz runs wide at turn 1. And I did another Formula 2 race for the same American league, and it rained. I don't know why, but this racetrack, if I'm commentating, it rains. And this is a particularly difficult circuit as well without assist. At least I found it anyway, because I'm starting to not use assist now, turning off traction control and ABS and even racing lines. You do lock up in quite a few places around this circuit. It's quite a unique one. It's often related to Monte Carlo, in a track that's very difficult to overtake. It's got a very fast section, Sector 1, 2 DRS zones, relatively fast corners as well, and you've got the fast and flowing Sector 2 and the tight and twisty Sector 3. It's got a beautiful balance of high, medium and low speed corners. The semi-pro sets the benchmark time of 1 minute 31.842. That is the time to beat. Next car to cross the line is a Williams, Iconic Hugh, who has invalidated his lap time, as you can see. So he will have to go again. It's got all the tricks on this circuit. Like I said before, high speed, medium speed, low speed corners, they're all here. You've also got some easily cuttable corners, such as turn 4, the fast left-hander. And you've got turn 5, which has an auto spin curb. on the inside, so if you touch that, it's pretty much a guaranteed spin. As Lunacy sets a 1 minute 37.0. As I said before, it's basically a practice session. Nobody can be eliminated. Hooter Magic goes P2 on 1 minute 32.414. Still semi-pro, unbeaten at this stage. Wild Boy, defending champion and currently P2 in the standings. Got a massive fight between himself and Hooter Magic. Oh, that is very, very sideways. I'm quite surprised he made, and he's still purple. He's still purple through Sector 2. That is absolutely brilliant. As Smokegrass retires from the session. So yeah, nobody can be eliminated, so it's effectively a useless session. As Alcatraz explores the infield a little bit. No damage. Oof. Yes, although there's only 4.38 kilometers of circuit, almost each and every part of it tests a unique part about the car. Sector 1, it's all about power. Sector 2, you got the heavy aero stuff, the fast and flowing turns of turns 8, 9, 10 and 11. In Sector 3, it tests out the chassis, the suspension, and how much mechanical grip rather than aerodynamic grip you have. Along with this wet weather that we're having, I have a feeling it's going to be an incredibly chaotic race. Hooter Magic goes fastest, so 1 minute 30.014. Currently the top three separated by half a second. I wonder if this kind of weather continues, as got a few spin. I don't know if it's at turn 13 for FPS, Aussie FPS, and James Cruz had a spin at turn 1. James Cruz, the Super Trooper, using absolutely no assist in these conditions is just going to be horrible for him. He's not the quickest, but he's got this incredible knack of just finishing. And in a championship like this, where if you finish, you are guaranteed points, it's actually not too bad a thing to have. Just the ability to finish a race. I've only ever seen him retire once, and that's it. And that was the feature race last week in Monza. I think that's the only time I've ever seen him retire. A few people watching. I mean, we got the AOR race in Brazil. I mean, everybody here knows what AOR is, so there's no point hiding the fact that we've got a championship fight between two of the highest quality racing drivers you have ever seen come out of Australia, between Pete Crichton and F1 Amazing Hour. Got this incredible rivalry, sort of the Australian virtual version of Prost versus Senna. And it's now down to the wire in Brazil. 8 points separate the two drivers. It's definitely a race that I'm going to watch after this stream. As Iconic Q goes fastest, so 1 minute 29.506. Currently the fastest in Q1, as all the drivers are going to start retiring now. And we'll move into the important stuff in Q2. Doesn't appear that anyone is comfortable in these conditions either. I have a feeling it's going to be a dry race, and a lot of these guys will be running dry setups. I've actually got no idea. I'll just check the Discord just to make sure. No idea. I'll just send out a message. Conditions. I'd just like to know. 4 people, god damn it, should be watching AOR. Oh! Ooh, okay. Alright, so I've got some information from Discord of what this race is going to be. This is going to be interesting. It is wet in the beginning, and it dries up towards the end. So these sessions, in intermediate conditions, these are very important. So, oh, what would you do, folks? Do you want a dry setup? Do you want a wet one? Or do you want some sort of hybrid? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Qualifying will tell a lot. The drivers that are quick, the drivers who aren't. Still got a few drivers running around. We've got Gaming Burger and Honest Crook. Still setting a few lap times, just getting their eye in. This track incredibly difficult, even in dry conditions, without traction control and ABS. Wet conditions, it's just going to be even worse. Turn 1, lap 1, is going to be absolutely chaotic. So, Honest Crook is the only one left. He'll probably finish his flying lap, then retire, just so then he can get a gauge of what Q2 and the race potentially is going to be like. Let's just pay attention to what Crook is doing. Remember, no traction control, no ABS. You can just see how gentle you have to be with the car. Oh, goes on full brakes for only a millisecond and straight off. Trying to prevent the car from locking up. Short shifts to third to minimise wheel spin. And Croc Clown joins the session. Oh good. We've got a few more drivers joining. This will actually be an alright lap. A 1 minute 30.855 from Honest Crook. Puts in P5. You can see that there from Honest Crook, being incredibly gentle with the car in these conditions. But seeing as he's still going, I might have to take you around some of the hot spots on this circuit. Coming up to one now, turn 4, that's an incredibly easily cuttable corner. And this one, turn 5. That inside curb is a killer. If you touch that, you spin out. Almost guaranteed. The chicane, if you get it wrong, you lose a whole heap of time and the risk of invalidation as well. Ooh, his Honest goes awfully wide. There we go, he retires from the session. But yeah, those two corners, turn 4 and turn 5, are incredibly tricky to get right. The turn 4, you don't want to cut too much, so then you get a warning. But you have to cut quite a degree of it, so then you don't run wide and get a warning that way for track extending. And with turn 5, touch the inside curb, you spin out. Seen that happen to many a driver. So, Q1, or effectively free practice, finished. Iconic Q, fastest by 1.5 tenths to Pure Gold in the McLaren, and our championship leader Hooter Magic currently in P3, but I can guarantee you this man's going to start light serious session. So if it stays intermediate, will it stay intermediate? No, it dries up. Okay, interesting. But seeing as it's wet at the start, I think everyone in here will be running on the soft compound tyre. Maybe start on the mediums just to get their eye in, but then move on to the softs towards the end of the session, because it's starting in wet conditions. Just see what they have fitted. Fastest lap, brilliant. So who's going to be the first driver out? The Mercedes is coming out, it seems. There it goes. So it's James Cruz. No, I see a racing point right out in the distance. Smokegrass, Wog Boy's teammate. As, whoa, that was Aussie FPS. Oh my goodness me. DRS enabled. That's very interesting. So it must have just switched from intermediate to dry conditions. So these laps will be a bit, what would be the word? Difficult would be the not so colourful word to use. I'm sure the drivers would describe it in a bit more colourful manner. But let's see. What will what compromises will the drivers make? According to the information, as the Red Bull spins, that's lunacy on those medium tyres. You can see there on the grass the spray coming up, the water coming up. So yeah, this track has just changed from intermediate to dry conditions. So it's still going to be very difficult. These drivers will wait till the dying minutes of the session to set their flying laps. The Smokegrass, he'll be the first driver to attempt a flying lap. He's got a Haas right in behind, and I think that's Papa G. But he's coming in already, so you don't need to worry too much. So, Smokegrass in the dry. Braking about 100 meter board. There it is. Second gear. Gentle on the throttle. Short shifts. There we go. Short shifts again. You can see the lack of traction with the wheel spin. Down to third gear. Nice and gentle on the throttle, trying not to get that snap oversteer on corner exit. A bit wide, it hasn't invalidated his time. Through turn 4, this is going to be tricky. Nicely and safely negotiated by Smokegrass. Into turn 5, avoiding that inside curve, but trying to get as close to it as he possibly can. Through 6 and 7, the chicane. You have to be careful. He would have lost a lot of time out of that, as I think that's Honest Crook coming back into the pits. He's on intermediate tyres. You do not want to be on inters. Oh, and into the wall goes Smokegrass. That's his lap ruined. Losing it in sector 2 as James proceeds to do the same thing. Now, that was a Gaming Burger on an out lap. He wasn't even on a flying lap, and he was right in behind James there. Let's see, Pure Gold would be an interesting one to watch. Actually, hang on. Lunacy's lost it at turn 4. And has broken his front wing in the process, so he will have to come back into the pit lane. Let's watch Pure Gold, an incredibly quick driver. Finished in the top 5 in the Green Championship Season 1. Got yellow flags, that's a slow car, it's Lunacy. Going through sector 2 now. Into turn 8 and turn 9. I have seen a few drivers spin out here in between 9 and 10. Alcatraz goes faster, so 31.4. Hard on the brakes, locking up. Hasn't cost him too much time though. We'll just see what false equation can post. Coming through the final corner, turn 14. Not using all the curves on exit, so he can find more time. It's a 26.1. Pure Gold comes across the line, a 24.799. Currently fastest by 0.3 of a second. Gaming Burger currently on the flying lap, and James Cruz right in front. James not getting out of the way though. Okay. I'm going to stick with these two, and I'm going to watch carefully. What the... Okay, I'm going to watch Alcatraz now. He's on a flying lap. That was very interesting. James not getting out of the way. Very interesting. Let's see what he does with Alcatraz. Alcatraz gently on the throttle. 24, 25, massive improvement of 25.4. Oh, sorry, that was a 26 one. I thought that was a 25 one. I thought that was only 3/10. It's more like 1.3 seconds. My goodness. Oh, hang on. Pure Gold's AIing right now. Or at least it appeared to be. Still a pretty quick time. I don't think that's his AI. In control as James almost loses it. There goes Alcatraz. P2. Okay, who else is there? I think Dermy's on a flying lap. Didn't invalidate there. He's on the mediums. Interesting. Probably just going to feel the conditions. Coming through the chicanes. Into turn 8. Turn 9. As who is that? That's James Cruz. That's what's causing the yellows. Gets out of the way there, so there must have been a bit of beef between Berger and James that I didn't catch. I do remember that Berger was like right up behind James when he was on his first flying lap. Perhaps it might be PG, currently P4, after setting his first flying lap. 1 minute 28.4. Wild Boy will be one driver to watch as Dermy sets a 1 minute 26.846. Got sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. That's a Ferrari. It's semi-pro. And that's a Renault, which is Alcatraz. And he's got front wing damage as well. Very interesting. But Alcatraz doing a few... Oh! Okay. I don't know what happened there, but... Okay. Alright. Oh, semi-pro, my goodness me, that was close. Alright, we're gonna have a look at Honest Crook. Coming towards the end of his first flying lap on the mediums. Comes across the line, 1 minute 26.8. Look at that. Dermy and Honest Crook on the same tyres. Almost identical times. 3 thousandths of a second separating the two. Is that Wild Boy? No, it's not. His teammate Smokegrass. Making a mistake out of turn 5. I bet he spun. Speaking of Wild Boy, this is the man to watch. This is going to be one hell of a lap, I imagine. He completes sector 1 in his purple. Over the curbs. Short shifts. Back up into 4th. Into the chicane, 2nd gear. Short shifts to minimise wheel spin. 4th gear. Little lock-ups there, here and there, but they're not costing him any time. Into turn 11, a very tricky turn. Seems that he's nailed it. He's purple in sector 2. Bit of a lock-up with slight understeer on corner entry, but it hasn't cost him. Into turn 13 with its awkward corner entry. And then rounding off the lap. Back onto the pit straight. This is going to be a mega lap. Oh my goodness me. A 1 minute 19.7. The first driver to crack into the 20s. I kid you not. He is 3.9 seconds faster than P2. Gaming Burger. A 1 minute 21.9. Just shows you the track evolution. How much this track dries up. how much more time you can find. But still, that's a mega lap in comparison to everyone else. Sector 2 yellows is one of the Haas's at the chicane. Probably just running a bit wide. Aussie through the chicane into this collection of medium speed corners and into turn 10. There's Haas just pulling off to the side. Very good job. Must be honest, Crooky's Papa G's in the pits. The driver just went purple in sector 2. That must be false equation? But it seems that Aussie is going on another flying lap. He backed off a lot through the final sector. It can't be false equation, so it must be... okay, I just saw a purple come up in sector 2. I don't quite know who that was. False equation, he'll come across the line. He will improve dramatically. A 1 minute 22.181. Gaining Burger's retired. That's a big gamble from the Alpha driver. Considering where Logboy is, I imagine there's going to be a few drivers that can really get up there into the 20s and possibly sub 20 times. Hooter Magic is definitely one of them. Pure Gold is another. I reckon Dermy could do it as well. Alcatraz, if he can string a lap together, can be incredibly quick. Just have to wait and see. Alcatraz on a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Through turn 3 he goes. He's up by 1.3 seconds, my word. Semi-Pro goes fastest. Oh, Gaming Burger, I think you may have jumped the gun. Pro, a 1 minute 19.6. So, it just shows how much more time you can find on this circuit. I believe he retired in the pit lane, because you can see his dot, the very top dot in the pit lane. Smoke Grass, a 1:19.1. Oh, the Gaming Burger, you, sir, have jumped the gun. He has definitely jumped the gun. I'm going to watch False Equation when he comes into the pits. Yeah, his teammate is in there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alcatraz. Wait. Look, boy, get off the intermediates, you moron. Get off him. FPS pulling off to the side. Semi-Pro, is he or not? Alcatraz retiring from the session. We got 1, 2, 3. We got a number of drivers on outlaps. False Equation has retired from the session as well. What can these guys, what can they do? Honest Crook, Pure Gold, Dermy. Iconic Q goes fastest, a 1 minute 18.592. We've got 3 retirees. At the moment, the bubble is a 1 minute 24.8 set by Pure Gold. Who will be the first driver on a flying lap, I wonder? Hooter Magic goes faster again on 18.1. Okay, James, you better get out of the way. Papa G is flying at the moment. He's up by 5 seconds through sector 2. Oh, but he's gone onto the outside curb and has spun the car around. That is his quali. Done and dusted. Who's next? I think it's Aussie. James Cruz comes across the line and he goes P10. That's a new bubble. Aussie FPS. What has he got? Coming through. Turn 14 now. Hard on the throttle. Oh, he's done it easily. P3. Jumps Honest Crook onto the bubble. A 1 minute 23.6. Pure Gold, the next car. The next important car. There's Smoke Grass, I think, in front. He's gone into the pits. Pure Gold. This puts False Equation onto the bubble. Oh, 22.1. And Honest Crook is up massively. Pure Gold, oh my goodness, goes fastest. A 1 minute 7. Good. Oh my goodness. The Alpha drivers, they called it too early. They retired far too early. Both of them out in Q2. Gaming Burger by a long way. A lot of drivers sub 20s in these conditions. Oh my dear God. Alpha will be kicking themselves. Both drivers starting 11th and 12th. My goodness me. So, top 3, Pure Gold, Hooter Magic and Iconic Q. But the important stuff, Gaming Burger, False Equation, James Cruz, Papa G and Lunacy, who didn't actually set a lap time, all of them are out in Q2. Wow. These two retired far too early. Alcatraz got quite lucky, to be honest. I think Papa G was on a really good lap. And he just had that small mistake. It was a small one. Running onto the outside curb. It had unsettled the car enough to where it spun out. I think he may have cracked the top 10. But I just noticed the clouds were coming over and it looked like it might rain again. No, it hasn't. It's hold off. Okay. Wow, what's Q2? So, who's the first driver leaving? I hear a car starting up, I don't know where it is though. It's a Ferrari. And it's Dermy. And the two Alphas come out at the same time. Smokegrass and Wogboy. In fact, Wogboy is going to be the first driver to set a flying lap. So this will be the first batch of drivers. Is anyone else from the pit lane going to follow suit? The Mercedes-Benz is starting up. It's Hooter Magic. And the Toro Rosso of Aussie FPS on his debut race. He's currently qualified in the top 10. Here comes Hooter Magic. And the Haas of Honest Crook. Look at them all come out now. Iconic Hugh, Honest Crook and Semi-Pro. All of them line astern. Pure Gold and Alcatraz are the only drivers who haven't gone out yet. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut up for a lap. If anything happens, I'll go to it, but let's let the defending champion do the talking. 4.38 kilometers of the wonderful Hungary ring. Coming through the final corner now. This is the benchmark time for the drivers on circuit. It's a 1 minute 16.3. His teammate will be the next cut across the line. And he must have invalidated his lap time in the process. Dermy goes second fastest, a 1 minute 17.1. 8/10 of a second off the pace. It's going to be one hell of a mountain to climb. Alcatraz just letting Huda Magic through. The man who has challenged Woke Boy throughout the season. These guys have never been more than 2/10 apart in qualifying. They're always really, really close to each other. Let's see what Huda Magic can do. He comes across the line, a 1 minute 16.588. Like I said, 2/10. It's a bit more than 2/10 this time. Still pretty close. Honest Crook, P6 currently, a 1 minute 17.710. Semi-Pro has invalidated his lap time. So has Smokegrass. So I think Alcatraz is the next driver to watch. The driver's pulling off into the background, letting others through. Coming through sector 2 now. See what he can do. Nice and gentle on the throttle. Using all of the curves that he can use without invalidating. Coming into the tricky braking zone. Turn 13. Nice and gentle on the throttle, using the curb once more. And he is going to pull into the pit lane. Interesting. Very interesting. So, next man of importance. Pure Gold, and he's purple in Sector 1, but I can't trust that. Sometimes the game lies to you about purple sectors, so you can't trust it. Semi-Pro coming across the line, goes P7, a 1 minute 18.220. As I think that's Aussie FPS, has a small incident of just slowing down dramatically at the beginning of Sector 2. Currently Pure Gold is purple in Sector 2, but again I can't trust it. It's not always accurate when it comes to purple sectors. But a beautiful exit. And he goes second fastest, a 1 minute 16.544. Only 400ths of a second separate second and third at the moment. 3/10 back is Aussie FPS. His first ever race in the Green Championship. He's currently P4 with 5.5 minutes to go. Alcatraz yet to set a lap. He was on a flyer, but he decided to bring it back into the pit lane. It's a very interesting call that he decided to make. He's probably just going to wait. Oh my dearie. Oh, it's an out lap. Oh, thank goodness me. But yes, it seems that Alcatraz is probably going to wait right till the end of the session, where the track is at its optimum, optimum levels. As Dermy begins his second flying lap. Into turn 1 he goes, nice and gentle, short shifts to minimize wheel spin, get the traction down. Very nice lines through turns 2 and 3. He's down by, not by much, by 300ths of a second. He's down, so pretty much identical times. Through sector 2. Nice and lovely over the curves. Oh, but a lot of understeer through turn 9. It may have cost him a little bit. Oh, and running wide and invalidates in the process. We'll go back to Smokegrass then. He's on his first flying lap. I'm sure Demi will bring it back into the pit lane. Either that or he'll give it another crack. Now from the track map, he's coming back into the pits. Well, that might be invalidation. No! Codemasters, you make no sense. They're basically identical, but Smokegrass can keep going. The fact. Oh well. Across the line. 1 minute 17.4 puts him P6 at the moment. So we've got a number of drivers coming out for their second flying laps, one of which now on his flying lap is Honest Crook in the Haas. Coming into turn 1 he goes. Got 3 other drivers as well, Semi-Pro in the Ferrari, Alcatraz is going to try and set his first flying lap. I believe Aussie as well, Aussie FPS, is on a second flying lap. Honest Crook. Oh, we got sector 2 yellows. It's Smokegrass. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, good. Got out of the way. Very good from Smokegrass. Great awareness. Oh, but he's going to back off. Interesting. He's going to back off. So, Aussie is the next car then. Over the curbs. Currently only using the low levels of ERS as the rest of the field start pouring out of the pit lane. Oh, but Aussie down 2 seconds, so he must have made a mistake I didn't see. But now Smokegrass is on a new flying lap, so is Honest Crook. So here we go. These are the 1 lap shootouts we have got to look out for. We've got to look out for that top 3 and potentially Derming and maybe even Iconic Q as well. He was very quick in Q2. Perhaps he can translate that pace into Q3. Oh, Smokegrass, that's a very awkward line and invalidates in the process. Thankfully for Honest Crook, he hasn't. Might have just a quick look at Semi-Pro. He does improve his time, but still only P9 at the moment. So Pure Gold's the first of the top runners to start a flying lap. I'll have a look in just a minute. Just gives the time to Honest Crook to complete his flying lap. Well negotiated by Iconic Q. Coming through the final corner now. Hard on the throttle. Does that invalidate? No, it doesn't. Puts a P8. Oh, and Alcatraz screwed up, so he's doing some celebratory donuts. So there's a Ferrari in front, but it's not Dermy, it's Semi-Pro. So we've got the Haas retiring in Sector 1. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with anyone's lap time. But this is the first important lap of the session. Pure Gold, currently P2. What can he find? Through the final corner he goes. It looks like an improvement. It is. But it's still only P2. Next car to cross the line is Hutamatic, and he's up massively. He's up by 2/10. He'll come across the line, and he goes pole. A 1 minute 16.2, but it's not done yet. Whoa boy, coming through the final corner now. Aussie has retired from the session, so he won't improve. The defending champion out to the final corner. And he goes faster, so 1 minute 16.041. He takes pole position by 2/10 of a second. Once again, Wogboy and Hooter Magic. It's a 1-2 for these guys once again. My goodness me. Wogboy will take pole position by 2/10, almost a bit over 2¼ tenths of a second. Pure Gold in P3, Aussie FPS on his debut will start on P4. Dermy P5, Iconic Q, who I also believe is on his Green Championship debut, starts P6. Smokegrass P7, Honest Crook P8, Semi-Pro P9, and Alcatraz, after stuffing up his second flying lap, will round out the top 10. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's time to start the race here in Hungary, and if the drivers are right, it should be raining. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, it is pouring down right now. Oh boy. This is going to be chaotic. Lap 1 is going to be the most chaotic lap 1 probably this season. Probably. It's going to be chaos. I mean, if it isn't, it just demonstrates the talent that these guys have to have awareness and good enough car control without assists, and in these conditions on a circuit like this, where even in dry conditions it's very easy to spin out. Well, at least I've found it in my limited experience without assists. Plenty of places to lock up, plenty of places to just get a bit too eager on the throttle. With that and the wet conditions, it's going to be absolute chaos. And everyone's on the wets, as you would imagine. Don't need lap data, probably need telemetry, full track map. Okay, so 17 drivers on the grid. Wogboy will start on pole position with Hooter Magic in P2, Pure Gold P3, Aussie P4, Dermy P5, Iconic Q P6, Smokegrass P7, Honest Crook P8, Semi-Pro P9, Alcatraz P10, Gaming Burger and False Equation retiring too early in Q2, resulting in them starting 11th and 12th, buried in the mid-pack in wet conditions. Oh boy. James Cruz P13, Papa G P14, Luna C P15, currently on the grid, or not in the session at all. Galaz P16, joining late, and Corrupt Clown also not in the session, so we actually just have 15 drivers. That's a bit disappointing, but okay. 15 is still a very good field. Just have to wait and see what happens. Drivers, oh my goodness, Dermy, warming up their tyres. You can see there with Dermy too, he's gone with pretty much level fuel. That's what the yellow icon means on the telemetry. So he has no excess fuel. Excess fuel. Same with Pure Gold and Smokegrass. So a couple of these guys are running as light as they can. Not a bad thing to do. Especially in these conditions, I don't think you want to be using rich mix too much. You just have to wait and see what happens. 35 laps. And we start off like this in the pouring rain. Everyone lining up into their respective grid slots. This is it. Oh boy. This is going to be something else, I think. I'm going to give these guys so much praise if they get through this in one piece. We have 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away they go here in Hungary. Round 5 has just begun, and it seems Wolfsburg's got a very good start. Oh, that's a Alfa Romeo on the grass. You do not want to be there. Oh god, this is going to be bad. Please get through it in one piece. Wow. Oh my goodness, are they actually going to get through in one piece? You are kidding me. That is superb driving. They got through. Everyone got through. Oh, that's annoying with Lunacy and Corrupt Clown not on the list. Everyone... Ooh! Side by side through turn 3. You do not want to be side by side through turn 3 in any conditions. My goodness me. And they're side by side through turn 4 as well. The Haas goes very wide. I think it's Papa G. Camera angle was absolutely shocking there. I wasn't able to see what happened there. Oh my god. Car stepping out, and that's James. James Cruz has spun at turn 5. And that's dropped him down to P15. But that is absolutely spectacular. Everyone got through turn 1 absolutely cleanly. It just demonstrates the amount of skill these guys have in just car awareness and car control, as Alcatraz loses it, but he keeps it. He still has all 4 tyres and no damage. Oof. That's fantastic to see. James just going a bit slowly through sector 2, but that's okay. So, oh, and that's very wide from Pure Gold. We'll put on to position changes. So, Wild Boy from pole position leads the way. He's already got a 1.2 second margin to Pure Gold. Magic has lost a place. Now in P3, Iconic Hugh up 2. Aussie FPS down 1 in P5. Same with Dermy. Smokegrass, he's currently where he started, P7. Semi-Pro P8, Honest Corp P9. Garlaz, the biggest winner from the start, up 6 positions. Technically up 5 because, well, he did start 15th. Lunacy and Corrupt Clown aren't in the lobby. At the moment, Wild Boy is pulling away. We might have a battle for P3 here. Hooter Magic just doesn't quite look comfortable in these conditions, and Hugh is gaining a lot of time. Oh, you can see that there. He just couldn't carry the mid-corner speed that Iconic could. As we got Garlaz running wide through turn 11. I did catch that when I was skipping through. But wow, that was incredibly well done from these guys. Pure Gold sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 34.876. That is a horrendous camera shot looking back at the wing. Coming onto the second straight now. The gap has leveled out between these two. And Pure Gold is starting to catch Wog Boy a little bit as well. Just have to keep an eye on that, but we do have a change in position. Garlaz being overtaken by the Gaming Burger after having a shocking start, a superb recovery. It was him that went off into the grass at the start of the lap. Effectively sent him down to last place, and now he's fought his way back up to P11. We've got Sector 1 yellows, and it's Alcatraz and James Cruz. James has no damage, but Alcatraz most certainly does. Broken front wing, missing end plate. In conditions like these, you need as much grip as you can possibly find, both mechanical and aerodynamic, so it's a massive, massive disadvantage for Alcatraz. Now with that damaged wing, he's going to have to come in. Oof. That car just does not look comfortable. But look at Wog Boy, he's now getting concerned about the incoming McLaren. Pure Gold has made up even more time. He's down about 2-3 tenths of a second in that lap alone. as Iconic Hugh, he had a moment. I just saw that on the mini-map. He's now dropped down into P6. He was in P4, he was battling with Hooter Magic. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. Through turn 5 they go, they're still all bunched up in these small groups. Gamey Burger and False Equation and Garlaz all fighting for the top, for 10th place. Sector 1 yellows, that's Alcatraz. Turn 3. Come on, come on Alcatraz, you've got to tough it out like James does. Got to tough it out. Everyone who finishes scores points. Everyone. At the moment, Pure Gold looks very good as Alcatraz makes another mistake entering turn 5. He gathers it up, he's still going. As you can see there, Wogboy weaving all over the circuit, trying to break the toe. Sector 2 yellows, it's now James's turn on the entry to turn 4. Exit of turn 4. Entry to turn 5. Spun around, no damage though. He's done well. Keep it out of the fence. Might just have a change in position here. Garlaz has got a good run and is closing in massively. Will he have a look? No, he won't. He'll just slot back in behind. He might have a look into turn 2. Oh, False Equation gets a horrible run through the mid corner, but should get a better exit. He goes defensive into turn 2. Garlaz might have a look around the outside. No way can you pull this off in wet conditions. He just might. He'll have the inside into turn 4. He gains a position. What a clean move from Garlaz around the outside at turn 2. Having the inside line into turn 3 as, I say that. No, he still holds onto the position. A very, very clean move from the Red Bull driver to get that done. Around the outside, holds it around the outside and has the inside into turn 3. Superb racecraft. But it seems the gaps have nullified. They're all in a sort of neutral state. But it seems that Dermy is not liking these conditions either. Iconic looks quick. He looks very quick. Just might have a look here down the inside. He's in overtake mode. Dermy, he's not going defensive. And that is Alcatraz. Once again, spinning. He's still good. Got all 4 wheels, that's all that matters. And once again, it seems that Hugh has had another moment coming out of turn 1. He was right up the back of Dermy. He has no damage. There mustn't have been contact. Sector 2 yellows. It is Alcatraz once again and gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Dear oh dear. But I believe these cars are ghost, lap cars ghost. Same with stationary cars on the circuit. So drivers don't have to worry too much about them. As Alcatraz just stops at the chicane. I'll just check with Alcatraz. Yeah, the car doesn't ghost. I thought it would. Oh, here we go. Battle for P6, but we also got the battle for P1. I just noticed that Pure Gold and Wogboy coming onto the main straight now. Wogboy in overtake, Pure Gold in overtake mode. Wogboy as well. Coming into turn 1. Both of them relatively equal straight line speed, even with Pure Gold having the toe. Just can't find the straight line speed to make a pass. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what Iconic Hugh is doing then. Is it a front wing change? Nope. He's on inters. Now, switching from wets to intermediates is pretty difficult. You have to rely heavily on Jeff. Like, switching from intermediates to dries is pretty obvious. As soon as DRS is enabled, you go and do it. But with switching from wets to inters, or from inters to wets, it's basically through feel. And through Jeff as well. Jeff will typically recommend the change. It's a bit more tricky, but obviously Hugh thinks he can find more pace on the intermediate tyre. As Alcatraz makes another mistake at turn 5, just letting, I believe that's Papa G past. No other drivers are coming into the pit lane as of yet. Just have to wait and see. There's definitely less water about. It's raining nowhere near as heavily. Just have to see what Iconic Hugh can do on the next lap. On his first proper flying lap on the intermediate tyre. He hasn't fallen away from Garlaz or False Equation. And that's Papa G, I believe. Just having a small moment. Oh, okay, so Semi-Pro's in as well. Onto the Inters, yep. Onto the Inters. So obviously for a few teams, they believe this is the crossover point. From the wets onto intermediates. Still plenty of spray, but it's not raining anywhere near as hard as it was at the start of the race. It was, the drivers told me during qualifying that the race was supposed to dry up towards the end. As Alcatraz, oh you massive wuss. Come on, James is still fighting. Come on, James. Come home and score points. Currently you're doing a better job than what Alcatraz is doing. Iconic Hugh. Definitely seems like he's made a very good call here. The leaders still haven't come in. Hooter Magic hasn't come in. Aussie FPS is. He's the first of the top 5 to come into the pits. And so does Dermy. What does Smokegrass do? No, he doesn't. I thought Racing Point might split up their strategies a little bit and might bring Smokegrass in. Oh, that's a late call from Haas. My goodness me. To bring Honest Crook in. Very late call. And here comes the Gaming Burger. And Iconic Hugh overtakes Garlaz as he's coming into the pit lane. So Iconic is going to get a massive undercut. Just have to see what... Wait! Wow, that is a very interesting call from Aussie. He's on the wets still. He did come into the pits. He's on fresh, wet compound tyres. That is a very interesting call. We'll have to see what happens. Sector 3 yellows. It's Papa G once again, I think. Oh, he's put it into the wall. Needs to find reverse. There it is. Oh, he reset the circuit. Righto. Pretty safe. There's no other drivers around. The leaders, the top 4 still haven't pitted yet. Oh, and look at that, a change for the lead. Wogboy, a huge amount of understeer. And he comes in. Oh, I reckon Pure Gold... I think Pure Gold should have went in as well. It's definitely the crossover point. Let's see what they go on to. Let's see. So Wogboy will be the first driver, and he's on intermediates. Same with Hooter. He's also on inters. Papa G has retired from the session. Oh, come on, fellas. Oh, hang on a minute. He might have actually crashed. Oh, he has. Iconic Hugh sets the fastest lap of the race. All right, Pure Gold. This is going to be one hell of a lap you have to do. On these wet tyres, this is definitely the crossover point. And Aussie FPS might have shot himself in the foot selecting wet compound tyres. It is quite clear that it is time for intermediates. He will have to make another stop or fight it out on the wets. Now there is something that I only just thought of that Pure Gold might do. He might just stay out and wait till dry conditions. That might be a very bad idea. But we'll just see what he does. Iconic Q, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, okay, so Zach won the masterclass. Good on him. He did it. So Pure Gold comes into the pits. And he'll be switching onto the intermediates. He might lose out to Hooter Magic even. We'll just have to wait and see. The gap was about 4 seconds. Wogboy comes out in front, obviously. Oh, this is going to be close. No. Sorry. Pure Gold got jumped massively. Similar to Aussie FPS, shooting themselves in the foot. The game does have small glitches here and there for pit lane things. Sometimes you can just accidentally select the wrong tyre as Carlos sets the fastest lap. That perhaps that's what might have happened to Aussie FPS. But with Pure Gold, it was purely his decision to go out the one extra lap. He obviously felt that the wet tyre still had some pace. But as a result, Hooter Magic has jumped him massively. Now, Iconic Hugh currently finds himself in P4 after having a small spin twice out of turn 1. Now has the massive undercut. He called it perfectly on the intermediates at the right time. Currently finds himself in a very good point scoring position. Let's go back into the midfield. There's Wogboy, a 1 minute 31.190. That's the fastest lap of the race. Oh, here we go. The battle for P8 is on. Semi-Pro goes wide, coming out of turn 12 into turn 13 they go. Second gear short shifts. No, uses almost a full rev range. Oh, Semi-Pro sliding through turn 14. Manages. Oh, as Aussie comes in. This could have been a solid debut, but unfortunately for him, he'll switch onto the intermediate tyre. Maybe he thought there was still quite a few laps of wet weather running that still needed to be done, but unfortunately for him it wasn't. Got blue flags. Maybe, I'm not sure who that would be for. So we've got a battle for P7 and also a battle for P9. Gaming Burger now loses a position to Garlaz. Going back up to this battle for P7. Semi-Pro on the Ferrari, Honest Crook and the Haas. Making a very late call to come into the pits. Very late call. Currently both drivers in very good point scoring positions. This and the battle for P9 appear to be the only battles at the moment, but there might be one starting for P2. We'll just have to wait and see. James Cruz, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Honest Crook pulling out. Interesting, very interesting. I would love to see his tyre temps, because you usually do that when your tyres are a bit hot. You go out to where the water is, cool the tyres down a little. Alright, so this battle for P2 is now starting. Pure Gold now within 0.6 of a second of Hooter Magic. Coming through the tricky second sector out of turn 11. We still haven't even crossed the halfway point in this race. Still a long way to go. It's only lap 13. Wow. This is going to be a very long race. As we got, I think that's Aussie. I think that's Aussie. It is Aussie. Coming out of turn 5. It's a fun round. Goes through the chicane. I'd like to see whether or not he has damage, cameraman. He does. Oh, that would be an orange right hand side of the wing. Completely destroyed. He'll have to come in. That will rub salt into the wound. Ooh, alright. This battle for P7. Honest Crook a bit closer than what he was before in overtake mode. So is Semi-Pro. But Honest Crook has got the car speed. He does have a look. He keeps it there. Semi-Pro giving him the room. Acknowledging that he does indeed exist. And with that slightly wider run, he gets a fairly good exit onto the second straight as well. James Cruz, another 3-second time penalty, and that's him in sector 3, I believe. There he is. Still going like a super trooper. If he keeps this up, he'll score 8 points. Which, to be honest, isn't at all bad. So out comes Aussie FPS. Alright, let's have another look at this battle. Still going at it. Through turn 11 they go. You can see there, Semi-Pro a lot more confident taking the curbs. And there as well, you can just see Semi-Pro able to get the car turned in a lot more. Honest Crook is understeering a little bit through certain corners. Kind of suggests to me that he's using a more straight line speed setup. Maybe more appropriate for the drier conditions. You can also see it here in overtake mode, but Semi-Pro is in high. Honest Crook in overtake, and he's gaining massively in a straight line. No, he won't have a look, not quite close enough. You can see it there. Another perfect example. Honest Crook having to use more road. More road equals more distance. And he's still in overtake mode as well. I tell you what, he might have it on auto ERS. I might explain why it's dumping so much. Oh, and he goes and cuts the chicane. Battle for P7 at least is going to take a bit of a break. But we've still got another one going on. The battle for P2. Who's the Magic and Pure Gold? Who's the Magic desperately needing all the points he can find to defend his championship lead. Oh, the McLaren almost loses it. Gathers it up nicely though. Because the charging Wog Boy, it appears he isn't going to be caught. Currently a 6.5 second margin. So Who's the Magic desperately needs to hold on to this P2 in case on the rare occasion that it does happen that Wog Boy makes a small mistake. It rarely happens, but it might. And him holding second might mean a win. Just have to wait and see. Pure Gold. He's been able to maintain this sort of second gap between himself and Hooter Magic but he hasn't been able to progress any further than that. I think he's made one, maybe two attempts here and there, but he hasn't been able to get the job done. See there, Hutemacher, slightly wider line. He's able to get on the power a bit early. You can see him pull away on corner exit. Hutemacher, he's being fast where he needs to be fast. He needs to be quick on corner exit, so then Pure Gold can't get a run into turn 1. He gets another good exit out of turn 1 as well into turn 2, so then Pure Gold can't have a look there. He's doing exactly what he needs to do for now. The rain is slowly getting lighter and lighter. So what was a battle for P7 is now a battle for P8. Small mistake Honest Crook made through the chicane has now pulled him back into the clutches of Garlaz and the Red Bull. Not too far behind them is the Gaming Burger in P10. Sector 2, that's James Cruz. Thank goodness. I saw the Mercedes and they were both near each other. Aussie FPS. Starting well, qualifying well. And made that small strategic error. Oh, catch it, son. There we go. Thank goodness. That was very close. Oh, hello. Pure Gold is a lot closer than what he's been on previous laps. You just see here, slightly wide line, gets on the power, car's nice and straight. You just see there, this millisecond of extra top speed, but you can see, oh my goodness me, the speed of the McLaren. Down the inside and gets P2. But can Hutemacher get the switch back? No, quite. Pure Gold gets a very good run out of turn 1. Pure Gold currently on lower ERS as well, but he's still got a great amount. 75%. Hutemacher's got a bit more on 85%. So Hutemacher, he's got a bit to play with, but so does Pure Gold. Just go back in the field. Garlaz in P9 rather. Battling for P8. To maintain this 1 second margin with Honest Crook. In fact, this battle for P8 might turn into a battle for P7 once more. Honest Crook is beginning to gain back time on semi-pro. So, and Gaming Burger might get involved in this as well. He's not too far behind. So we might, ladies and gentlemen, have a four-way fight here. Oh, you can see here, Gaming Burger with a very good view, and Honest Crook at the moment looks very, very shaky through this middle sector. He gets a horrible run through turn 10, understeers and runs wide through turn 11. He still holds the position. Garlaz might have a look down the inside, and he does. He gets the job done in turn 12. There's contact. Oh, and he loses 2 positions in the process, Honest Crook. Oh, and spins out in frustration. He's trying to maintain the pace. He was a bit unsettled from the events before. Locks up the brakes and spins out. Oh, and overshoots the pit lane. He wants to come in. I wonder what he's going to do. Going to be nice and gentle in the pit lane. He's not going to risk anything. So James Cruz, very good man, pulling to the side. Everyone through. So what's Honest Crook doing? This is a gambling man. That is a very big gamble, but what do you have to lose in these conditions? It is lightening up a lot. I don't think it's anywhere near dry enough though. Excuse me. Just have to look to the cars behind. There's still plenty of spray coming off the tyres. But if Honest Crook can keep the car in relatively one piece. He doesn't need to make a pit stop. He'll be good to go till the end of the race. Oh, you can just see the understeer though. It's still just not quite right for the dry tyre. Now, with the demise of Honest Crook, there's still a battle going on, and it's for P8, Garlaz and the Gaming Burger. And because of those previous incidents, Semi-Pro is able to pull away. 2.1 second margin. Oh, Gaming Burger, very good. Oh, was there contact? Was there contact there? I do not know. I just saw Garlaz awfully sideways coming out of turn 1. I noticed the Gaming Burger was really deep. He had a lot of confidence under the brakes in comparison to Garlaz. I just wonder if there was a touch. A fantastic save from Garlaz. He was incredibly sideways. Currently he's very low on ERS, 8% in comparison to the Gaming Burger. He's on 90%. Wow. So Gaming Burger should be able to get this job done quite quickly and easily, as Honest Crook loses a position, as you'd expect. So obviously the radar said it was going to clear up, but when? Well, Honest Crook, the best he's going to finish is probably 11th. Behind Aussie FPS. I don't think he'll be able to get false equation with the stops. Oh, here we go. Garlaz gets a horrible run out of turn 13. And the game... Oh, here we go. He's in. I'd like to see what he goes for. Nice and on the marks. Comes in. Will it be another set of inters? Will it be a set of dries? It's a set of dries. The medium compound tyre. Garlaz is a gambling man. We'll see whether or not it pulls off for him and for Honest Crook. Just return back up to the leaders. I've just noticed that Pure Gold has pulled away from Hooter Magic. As Garlaz, he will come out in P10. Oh, massive slide from Hooter Magic coming out of turn 13. Seems to me that doesn't quite have the pace in these wet / intermediate conditions in comparison to Pure Gold. But it seems Pure Gold has fairly good pace. He's actually catching Wogboy a little bit. The gap has come down to 5.2 seconds. It was up to 6.5 when Hooter and Pure were battling. So, Honest Crook, he'll get out of the way. Surely he'll go wide. Not quite. Go wide here. Or he'll just park it on the chicane. No, there he goes. Very good from Honest Crook. Trying not to disrupt the mace too. Oh, hello. I saw that prompt. DRS has been enabled. Oh, and these guys, they're going to love it. They're in the right spot at the right time. Onto the mediums they go. Same with false equation. He's coming in. So Garlaz, the gambling man, is on medium compound tyres. He's the first driver on the mediums. They're going to be up to temperature. They're going to be up to pressure. What can he do? It's Semi-Pro. He was in the right place at the right time. Wogboy's in. Pure Gold's in. Hooter Magic's in. This might be the turnaround that Hooter Magic needs. Now, what do they go with? I've seen mediums. I still see mediums. Nobody gambling for the softs. Medium's the way to go. Sector 1 yellows. That is Honest Crook. I think it is. Oh, after surviving so long. No damage though. You can take that, no damage. Oh, hang on. We've just got a massive slide there. So we've got a battle for P11 that we can look at as well. So Iconic Q, Dermy and Smokegrass are all into the pits. On to the medium compound tyre they go. Honest Crook, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Sector 1, it's Danny! Danny has spun, oh my goodness me! Coming out to turn 1, got too eager on the throttle. And I think he has damaged his front wing, I think. Yes, he has. Front end plate missing. Dermy has left the session. Oh my goodness me, you didn't just leave, did you? Oh. Dermy. You're in a solid place. Maybe his internet cut out or something, I don't know. It was P5, it was looking very good for Ferrari. But now Ferrari's hopes lie with Semi-Pro. It seems he's going to be under attack from a charging bull in the form of Garlaz. The gap has closed down to 1.8 seconds. Garlaz with that magical call. A lap before DRS was enabled. Oh, and that's a corner cut. Surely that's a penalty. No, just a warning, I think, for Semi-Pro. Sector 2 yellows. Wait. Garlaz! Oh my goodness me! I was wondering why the camera wasn't changing. He's spun. Oh no! Wretched luck for the Red Bull driver. Oh, his tyres are going to be all over the place. They're going to be hot. The pressures are all out of whack. Oh no. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. What was going to be a good battle. And in comes Dermy, replacing the front wing. This will be his AI, I believe. Gaming Burger, the fastest lap at 1 minute 26.549. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Still Garlaz, I believe, provisionally P8. You can just see from the throttle how it's acting. That's definitely an AI. So Dermy has indeed left the session. It wasn't just a trick. Just check the Discord. I've got nothing. So with 11 laps to go, Logboy leading. And he's opened up his gap to 8.7 seconds. If Wogboy keeps this up, he's definitely taking the win. And that's Garlaz, I think. It is. Turn 5. My goodness me. And False Equation's going to gain a place here if Garlaz isn't careful. Wogboy, a 3-second time penalty. You don't see that too often. But he has got one. So he really can't afford any mistakes. So we might indeed have a battle, potentially, for P9, after Garlaz making a mistake at turn 5 as Gaming Burger again, fastest lap at 1 minute 23.1. Track is really evolving. Go back up here, because the battle for second is now going to reignite. Seems that Hutamachi has got a lot of confidence in these dry conditions, and he is gaining a lot on Pure Gold. It's now within a second. Is it within a second when he crosses the DRS line? Yes, it is. He's going to have DRS on this straight. He's going to chuck it up to overtake mode. Fastest lap at 1 minute 21.719. Will he have a look down the inside? No, he won't. He'll slot back in behind. Third gear. Nice and easy on the throttle. Semi-Pro. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We also might have a change of position between Garlaz and False Equation. We have. So False Equation moves himself up into P9 and Garlaz falls to 10th place. Still a solid scoring position if he can hold it. He'll have 12 points next to his name. At the moment, Peter Magic now gaining massively on Pure Gold. Oh, you can see that there. Pure Gold not able to hit the apex quite as nicely. Dermy fastest lap, 1:21.691. Oh, Pure Gold, small lockup. Hasn't cost him too much time though. Yes, Hooter Magic, way more confidence in these conditions. Wog Boy, 1:20.264. Smokegrass 5-second penalty for multiple warnings. It's all going to kick off here. Here we go, overtake mode. DRS, Pure Gold goes defensive. Hooter Magic will have to look around the outside if he can hold it. No, he'll get the switch back. He'll get a very good drive out of the corner. They are side by side down this straightaway into turn 2. Pure Gold has the inside line, but if Hooter Magic can hold it, he'll... Oh! That was hard racing from those two. Pure Gold sort of cutting across Hooter Magic's line, keeping him in P2. We've got lap traffic ahead. It's on a crook. Coming through the chicane now. Into the curves they go. Both cars are quite comfortable. Going through turn 7. Run turn 8, turn 9. It's turn 10. And now turn 11. Now into the tight and twisty sector 3, turn 12. Turn 13. They're fairly even, these two. As Aussie sets a new fastest lap at 1:20.059. Expect these times to tumble rapidly. DRS wide open, overtake mode once again. Oh, here we go. Will lap traffic get involved in it this time? Pure Gold holds it down the inside. Hooter Magic will have to run wide and look. Oh, the long way round. He holds it there. Hooter Magic has the inside line. Both of them lock up. Coming out of the turn now, but Pure Gold has the inside line. Fantastic racing from these two. My goodness me. Sector 2 yellow. It is Aussie and Garlaz. Both of them turn 5. Oh my goodness me. Just in front of these two, battling away for P3. Traffic is going to play a massive part on who gets the final 2 spots on the podium, P2 and P3. When they cross the line, there will be 7 laps to go. Honest Crook very wisely pulls off to the side, both drivers horribly wide. James Cruz 5-second penalty. Pure Gold locks up. It's ever so slightly, but he hasn't cost himself too much time. Through turn 13 they go, into turn 14. Hooter Magic will have DRS once again. What will he do? He's tried the inside, he's tried the outside. He will go even further inside. Does Hooter park it on the apex? No, he doesn't. Pure Gold will sit in his slipstream. He chucks it up into a hot lap. Down the inside into contact. Oh my goodness me. Contact between the two. There's not a lot Pure Gold could have done there. I've also just noticed he's got front wing damage as well. He's missing an end plate. I don't think it was from the battling either, but he is missing an end plate. It explains why he's missing so much speed. Connor Q, a 3-second time penalty. Don't think it matters too much for him. He's in the middle of nowhere. 11 seconds down on Pure Gold and 20 seconds up from Smokegrass. Very comfortable at the moment. I have to go back here. Wogboy fastest lap at 1:19.677. Yeah, AI is definitely in charge for Dermy. You can see it there as well. It's using overtake mode. It's draining all of the ERS. It means one of two things. You either have it on automatic ERS or the AI is driving. For whatever reason, the AI just dumps all of the ERS. Keeps running it in overtake mode. It's very dumb, but That's what it does. James Cruz, that's what's causing the yellow flags. Aussie, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Let's have a look back here. These two had an incident through turn 5. I'm not sure. Oh, and Aussie has a broken front wing as well, missing end plate. Oh, massive understeer. You can see it's going to be a struggle. Hutamagic, he is being held up by Garlaz. He's going to get DRS. So Garlaz will probably just pull off to the side. Let Hutamagic go by. Let's see what that missing end plate does. He's now 2.5 seconds down. Hang on, Demi. Now that looks more human. But you can see there that it comes up with a cross, so whether or not the AI is just a bit too high at the moment. Currently Demi and Semi-Pro are battling. Just want to pay attention. You can see there, that's something an AI would do. With humans, with either a pad or with a controller, it's a lot more progressive. It's not like on off, on off, on off, on off, on off. You can see that there with the brakes and with the throttle on off, on off, on off. So I don't think it's Demi in charge, it's just a bit too high rated AI, I think, on fresh tyres. See here, a race leader with 4 laps to go. Just pulling away. It's now 15-second margin. He does have 3 seconds next to his name, but it won't mean too much. Go back. Battle for P10. Garlaz and Aussie FPS. Aussie has front wing damage. I'm not sure if Garlaz does. I'll have to wait and see. He doesn't. Problem is he's held up by someone who does. It's currently P3 pure gold, but he can't overtake him. Otherwise the game will penalise him for ignoring blue flags. So he sort of has to maintain position. It's going to be quite annoying for Garlaz. Enormous Crocker's not too far behind us either. We'll have a 3-way fight for P10, potentially. A great deal happening up the field, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Hutamagic sets the fastest lap of 1 minute 19.594. Both Garlaz and Aussie. They both have DRS. Semi-Pro 3 seconds. For multiple warnings. Go back up to top 3, I think. Pure Gold having to negotiate traffic and also negotiate that broken front wing. Dropping more and more. Oh, and gets a 3-second time penalty in the process. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Battle for P10. Garlaz and Aussie side by side. Oh, there's that contact. And he's missing another end plate, I think. No, he's not. Thank goodness. I thought there might have been contact between the two. Aussie, after qualifying so well, just had a small collection of mistakes and it's resulted in him finishing. Oh, okay. Honest Crook in. Interesting. He's going to have a crack at fastest lap at the end of the race. It is entirely possible that he can get it. He won't lose any positions. He obviously thinks he can't make up the time to these two. The battle for P10. See what Honest Crook can do. If he can get the fastest lap, he will get it. As all of the drivers competing, because they all score points, they can all get fastest lap. They don't just have to be in the 10. I have to go back up though. As Wogboy, he crosses the start-finish line to begin the final 4.4 kilometers of the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's been a commanding drive as always, as James, I believe that was James. Another small mistake in causing a brief yellow flag. Oh, hang on. This is still going. Even with the damaged wing, he's able to give Garlaz a run for his money. He's going to have a look around the outside into turn 1. Hard on the brakes. Can he get the switch back? No, he's going to try and hold it around the outside. He'll get DRS once again. Garlaz gets the better run. He's going to have a look around the outside again. If he can hold it, he'll have the inside. That is a Williams. That's a Williams. Having a moment at turn 1. Thankfully, he's got massive gaps all over the circuit. I'm going to have to go up to the leader. Currently purple through sector 2. Once again, it has been nothing but sheer dominance. He's done it so many times, and he will do it once again. Around the final corner, he will win the Hungarian Grand Prix and gets the fastest lap in the process, a 1 minute 18.925, and in P2 will be the Mercedes-Benz of Hooter Magic. 35 points next to his name. He will still hold the championship lead. Pure Gold in P3. In this battle for P10 I want to watch as well. Will Garlaz hold on to it? Yes, he does. Fantastic battle between those two. An iconic Hugh on his first ever race in the Green Championship. 4th place in the Williams after making a brilliant strategy call from going from the wets onto the intermediate tyres. He timed it to perfection. Smokegrass will come home a very good P5. Solid points for the Constructors' Championship, 4 Racing Point, and the Gaming Burger up 5 places after having such a horrendous start. Will come home in P5, actually, because of Smokegrass's penalties. But like I said before, sheer dominance. Winning the race and getting the fastest lap in the process. Can anyone beat this man? It's going to be a mountain to climb to try and take the Drivers' Championship away from him. Hooter Magic, definitely the driver who's going to have to take it up to him. What a sublime race. There were some boring bits for sure, but still some really good highlights throughout that. Wogboy wins the event by 13.2 seconds to his main rival, Hooter Magic. Pure Gold, a very good P3 after battling so hard with Hooter. He'll get the reward of a final podium place. Iconic Hugh on debut will finish P4. Same with Gaming Burger. Debut in the Green Championship. Finishes P5. Smokegrass P6. Sturmy not quite P7 because his AI took control. Semi-Pro P8. False Equation P9. Garlaz P10. Aussie unfortunate race, P11, Honest Cook P12, and James Cruz, once again, the Super Trooper, finishes and gets 8 points in the process. 8 crucial points for Mercedes-Benz. Oh, what a race. What a great race. Had such brilliant moments, and the start was superb. I thought it was going to be absolute chaos, and it just wasn't. Everyone conducted themselves really, really well. And as I said before, it demonstrates the quality of drivers we have in DRS, in the Green Championship, in all of the championships, really. There's really high quality drivers. But that will end tonight's stream for the Green Championship. Tune in for tomorrow night. We return here to Hungary for the Blue Championship, where it will be once again quite an entertaining race, I would imagine. You'll get to see me and James spin around lots of times as we're using absolutely no assist. But until tomorrow night, I've been the Smeg. Thank you all so much for watching, and good night.